What's up, everyone, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 18 of Girl You Know What podcast. I am Danielle.
And I'm Kisha.
And girl, so... Honey. So before we get into the bullshit that we're going to discuss first, because we got some good things later on, but we got to get the bullshit out the way. So how was your week, girl?
It was good. I can't complain.
Good.
I can't complain. It's the summertime, and I feel like when my kid is away, life is not as hectic.
Right.
Even though she texted me at 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
At 5:30 this morning, talking about apocalyptic activity. I was like,
yes.
You kids get on my nerves. Yes. Bless her heart. I was just like, what?
Now, where did that come from?
Yes. I mean, where did that come from at 5:30 in the morning?
Right.
See, that's why you need to go to sleep.
Yeah. That's what it is.
That's why you need to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Come on, now I got to be Nana and plead the blood of Jesus over everybody's life at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, see.
Come on, I feel better now.
Oh, okay. So you feel better now.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
And you got me all.
You know me at 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, do you want me to come pick you up? Like,
right.
I can come get you right now. Like,
that's the first thought.
Oh my God.
Gotta go to bed, girl.
Go to sleep. So it's like talking to yourself when you tell them to do something.
Oh, baby, yeah, they don't listen.
But yeah, other than that, everything's been good. How about you?
It was good. It was good. Busy as usual. Same old same, just working. And then, that was it. That was it, really, just work. Like, I've been worked over a couple hours and, throughout the week. So, just life. Life be life. Yeah. So, dear white people, let's just start right there.
I mean,
so let's talk about this.
Really like the white people. Like, I
just don't get it. I really don't. Now so white folks, y'all are afraid. Y'all have no fear. Like I told you this, and I've told other people this too. Like I noticed, like especially over the past maybe 10 years, white people have no fear. They will do anything. They will jump off buildings. They will climb the highest Alps. They will wrestle with the deepest sea creatures, literally. They will do all sorts of bullshit to put their life in danger, but y'all are terrified when it comes to black people. A black person can't look at you and you are ready to shoot or call the police on them. But y'all will do everything else to put your life in danger. But
this is what I think. I think their biggest issue with us, I think they pretend like they're afraid. They are not afraid of us. They cannot control us.
Oh, well, too, yeah.
They definitely believe they're supposed to control us.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And because it's not slavery anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they lack the ability to just get us to do what they want us to do. They have this, it looks like fear.
Yeah.
But it's not fear. It's just a high level of irritation because we won't do what they say.
Right.
You can't make us do what you want us to do.
Right.
And it goes hand in hand with them going down in that water. I said this to my friend. They don't believe that anything's not attainable to them. So they're going to go everywhere.
Yeah.
They're going to make some machine that they can, it's the reason why they out in the space and the quasars and the moons, because they believe they have the rights. It is their God-given white right to explore everything. They believe that.
Right.
Nothing's off limits to them.
I mean,
and I just feel like leave them sea creatures alone.
Exactly.
Leave what's ever going on in the water alone.
There is a reason why that ship has been at the bottom of the freaking Atlantic Ocean for over 100 years, and no one has F with it because they can't.
Well, we know what happened to it. What exactly are you trying to see?
We've all been in the ship. Like after
Movie wasn't enough, huh? Just
well,
wasn't enough.
well, not even just that. Like, I mean, ever since they discovered where the ship was, I mean, they've had drones and all sorts of
We know
undercover.
it's down there.
I
What did y'all
mean,
gonna
yeah,
get off of it?
ain't nothing down there except for just a whole bunch of rust and shit. What do y'all expect to see? What?
I don't see
I mean, first of all, y'all build this sub missile for a sub missile, whatever the hell they're calling it. It's a damn submarine, in my opinion. You know, that's just what I'm going to call
It
it.
don't look like it's big enough to fit 5 dogs in there.
Listen,
And
eh,
y'all got y'all selves in there.
5 grown ass men in there, and the sad thing is, I just read or heard yesterday or the day before that the 19-year-old, the youngest one,
He didn't want to
he didn't
go.
want
He
to
was
go. He
scared.
was terrified, but his dad.
He wanted to do what pleased his father. His
Mm-hmm.
father wanted him to go, and
Yeah.
he was terrified and he didn't want to go.
So I mean, that he's the only
So
one I
he
feel
probably
bad
he
for.
probably died first
Probably.
because he probably had a sheer panic attack.
Yeah.
Like he probably had a whole heart just probably passed out.
Oh yeah. So y'all gonna build this thing to go to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean and just to see some abandoned ship that we've all seen. Y'all gonna
But
make it
just
out of
again, so they can be the ones to
oh
say,
yeah, yeah.
"Oh, I saw it with my own 2 eyes."
Y'all gonna
Like,
use
no
I
kids.
mean, listen, what it was built out of, and then you're gonna use a damn controller that y'all got from Five Below
Oh my god!
to steer this damn thing.
And now the white people mad because they said the jokes is insensitive. Excuse
Shut
me.
up. You know, I mean,
They're insensitive.
y'all be all right. Y'all will be all right because and then they also I got to talk. So they also said that the stepson of the CEO isn't sensitive, and you know they're getting on him because he was uh, tweeting and everything and Instagramming from a Blink 182 concert. Look, first of all, he said that he doesn't even talk to his stepdad. He said that
And listen, y'all have 40 more hours of oxygen. What I didn't know y'all wasn't gonna come back up.
exactly,
They
but
could have found y'all.
he knew it was bullshit. He
Y'all
kn-
want me to stop my life?
exactly. I mean,
You made a decision to go down there, and that was your decision, and you put your life in your own hands
right.
or in the hands of that man, whoever ran the thing.
It was that guy. It was I think it was the CEO because he was firing everybody, you know,
Oh
who was
my
telling
god.
him, you know, that this isn't going to work, that this is a basically a death wish right
Well,
here.
what you call it said y'all was using subpar materials to build
Exactly.
it
That's what I'm
anyway.
saying. Y'all just build it out of whatever and use the damn dollar store controller to guide the damn thing down to the bottom of the ocean.
And I'm gonna just tell you, I said it to you, and I'm gonna tell y'all just like this. Everybody know how far a mile is.
Mm-hmm.
Take you 4 walks around the track to get a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being 13,000 of those miles down in the water. What is wrong with you? Like
I
the
mean,
logic. It's the logic that leaves people's heads that really disturbs me.
mm-hmm.
And why are we speaking about white people? White people. You know what's been going on around these parts where I live?
What's that?
It's a lot of white people killing their kids.
Oh, really?
A white man shot all 3 of his sons.
I mean, you know what?
In Plain City, they found some baby in a trash
Oh
can.
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that.
A white girl shot her 8-year-old son and then shot herself. Another white man beat his 3-year-old to death. Right in this little community where I live. I'm
Mm-mm.
talking about no more in a 30 to 45 mile radius of where I live.
I mean,
White people, what y'all going through? Is it y'all done got a hold of some bad dope?
something.
Like, what's wrong with y'all? And you know, so this morning.
Mm-hmm.
So it's normally every day when Ronnie gets ready for work, we get up super early, 4 a.m.
Right.
He has to watch the news. The past couple days I've been not turning the news on because I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
But I've been watching Murder Comes to Town, like all these little ID shows.
Mm-hmm.
This morning in particular, we were watching the 80s, the deadliest decade ever.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the '90s one. I haven't seen the '80s yet.
So particularly this morning, it was about a girl who went missing. She was 13 in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
And so something that they pointed out, and we were like, dang, remember when that used to happen? He was like, yeah, when kids used to go missing in the 80s, baby, they was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Milk cartons,
Yep.
the little thing. Remember, you used to get the circulars, and that
Mm-hmm.
little white rectangle used to come in the mail. Have you seen me? And it would be
Mm-hmm.
two kids on there.
Yep. I remember that. Yep.
And I told him, I was like, dang, if you really think about it now, the kids just go missing. They don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah. He was like, what happened to that? I said, they were so vigilant when kids went missing when we was little.
Right.
Now you don't hear hide nor hair.
Mm-mm.
And I told him, and I stand on this, and they can challenge me if they want to. I said, but this is another thing that proves to me. I said, like I always say, these white people don't care about their kids for real. I
Mm-hmm.
said, and school shootings are a clear picture
Right.
that they don't care
Mm-hmm.
because it's their kids getting killed in those school shootings.
Right.
And the fact that they don't have the presence of mind and hold on, not only is it their kids getting killed in the school shootings, their kids are doing the shootings.
Right.
And they don't have the presence of mind to have any type of gun reform.
Mm-hmm.
They do not care. And
No.
I would like to put it to black people. Y'all love to run out to these white schools and put your kids in them schools. But if they don't care about the safety of their own children, they do not care about the safety of your child.
Right.
Like, I know it's a hard pill for people to swallow, and we want to kumbaya, and we really want to believe that everybody is, Maya Angelou told y'all, when people show you who they are, you better believe them because they
Mm-hmm.
know themselves better than you do.
Mm.
And they proven to you time and time again that the safety of children, and if we also being honest, the education of children
Right.
is not a priority for them. It's not a priority.
Mm-hmm.
But something has convinced y'all to run your kids out to their schools.
Yeah.
I don't know what has happened, but it's honestly what you do with them as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the school.
Yeah.
It's not. Sade has not gone to what would be considered the best schools.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like, she has,
Right.
schools are based on your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to wherever they bus her to.
Right.
So, but she has been able to excel. And I honestly, and I think I've said this before, it's because in the first few years of her life, she just read.
Right. So she was prepared. Is what it
She had
started
a
at
great
home.
relationship, yes, with the library.
Mm-hmm.
She went to the library diligently. And she read every book she could get her hands on. And I mean read to the point where we didn't really let her watch a lot of TV.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't watch TV. And if she did, it was like PBS. Like, and we exposed her to those books. And she will be entering into her senior year as a valedictorian.
Mm-hmm.
So, y'all want to run them out to them schools, but then they run out there and they don't, it's not like their grades are outstanding.
Right.
They just there to be there. But,
What do you know?
get off my soapbox.
Listen, girl.
But these white folks, listen, they crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all still going to school with them. That's their teachers and their classmates.
Right.
It's insanity.
It
It really
is.
is.
I will never understand that. And then look down upon the quote unquote black schools, the majority blacks, predominantly black schools, the city basically.
Do you know? And even I saw a clip. I guess a young lady was at a graduation and they said when the white, I should have sent it to you. They were letting the students say their
I
names
saw
and their
that.
majors.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
I'm
Go
gonna just tell
ahead.
y'all the truth about something. Anytime I see stuff like that, and Lord be with me, God. Immediately, I kind of scrunch my face up and be like, "Is this a white school?"
Mm.
I don't know what y'all. I have said this before too, like a broken record. I don't know what y'all expect when y'all go to white schools.
Right.
Tell me what you're looking for. I'm just wondering.
See, they're seeing online where, when you walk across that stage at HBCU, they let you praise break. They let you,
Baby, then you ain't at home there.
listen.
You the help.
Yeah. You just another number.
That's what you should equate. You should equate that
Mm-hmm.
to you are the help. Some of
Right.
you field niggas and some of you's house niggas, but you's the help over there.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be clear about that.
But talking down on black schools.
I'm still trying to figure this out, and I know we ain't gonna really touch too much on it because you said you didn't want to. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with even with Aoki
Oh
Simmons.
no, we can talk about it. Yeah,
I
we can
don't know
talk
what's
about it.
going on with her degree. Cause look, me and my homegirl been trying to figure it out since she posted that degree she got
Mm-hmm.
from Harvard. But what did you get a degree in?
Right. Or did
It
you
just
just
says
go to
in the
Harvard?
classics.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't say it's a bachelor's of science. It doesn't say it's a bachelor of arts. Now I need to see a different degree from Harvard because is that how they just is that what they do over there?
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
literally says her name and
Mm-hmm.
it says like the classics.
Yeah.
But what is it
But what
though?
is it? Like you said, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Arts,
What is
Bachelor of Humanities, whatever. I mean, what does that mean?
we ain't been able to figure it out yet. I'd love to see somebody else's degree from Harvard. Maybe
Yeah.
that's how they write degrees over there.
I
I
don't
don't know.
know, but
And I really
yeah.
felt like with the whole thing, so I'm not really here to judge if her and Russell Simmons, if it was right or if it was wrong.
Right,
But
yeah.
one of my friends brought this to my attention. He said, why do kids think it is acceptable to take to social media
That was my problem
to
with it.
air their grievances with their
Mm-hmm.
parents? He said, I don't understand. He said his kids would he'd have knocked all about. Like he
Listen.
said, it ain't no way that would have. But I didn't really feel sympathy for her.
Mm-hmm.
What it really sounded like to me was some privileged, entitled kid
Mm-hmm.
who was mad because their father turned their cell phone off.
Right.
That's what it that's what it gave me.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're here for, right? We're here because he cut off your money or whatever the
Mm-hmm.
case may be.
And that's a whole nother thing. That's why I was like, there were more things that came out, like talking about how Kimora and that white ex husband that she had were actually taking
Is
money
they even
from him.
divorced?
I don't know. She kept
Because is
referring to
he
him
still
as her.
going through that?
They could be, but she kept referring to him as her ex husband. So I don't know.
Well, listen, you stupid if that's your ex-husband.
Mm
Because what you did and what Russell said you did do.
hmm. Mm
The
hmm.
court just said because you were a partner in the company that you had a right to do it. But
Right.
I don't feel what do we always say? Everything that's legal is not morally correct.
Yeah. Uh huh.
So you still shouldn't have did that. And there's be women again running behind these white men, but that's a
Hmm.
whole nother
That's
different.
why I said, I was like, when more stuff started coming out, I mean, because we
She
know.
was wrong for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we know Russell is flighty and he's weird and he does some questionable things. We get that, but I've never and this is just me from the outside looking in, but I've never heard him like disrespect his children, and plus
No,
anything like that if something was going on, like you said, we shouldn't have known about this, but because of
no.
this generation and even their parents, because of
And Kamora, you should have put a stop to that. Like
exactly.
she up there asking him to pay her bills or
Hmm.
whatever. Why aren't you doing it?
Right. So she must not know what's going on. That's the
You took the
thing.
money,
Yeah.
you cashed the money in to pay the bond and lawyer fees of your crook husband.
Mhm.
And what you did was took away from your kids.
Yeah, and they
And
don't
when
know
they
that.
showed that video, he did mouth, she took everything. He
Mhm.
did say that.
Yeah.
So you don't know the bind that he's in.
Mhm. You're just going off of probably just what your mom's saying. Because obviously you don't have a relationship with your dad, so you're going off of what your mom's been telling you, and she's not going to tell you that she basically stole your dad's money. She's not going to say that.
No.
So it's just like I feel bad for I feel bad for her and her sister, but the thing is, don't bring it to social media, but that's what they do. That was the problem I had. Why is this
That's what
on
Kurt
social
Franklin's
media?
son did.
Mhm.
It just seems like every time, like you bring these, and I feel like Ronnie told me he recently somebody asked Kirk Franklin because he's promoting that new tour, and
Mhm.
someone asked him recently had he spoken to his son and what was the relationship, and he said unfortunately he has not talked to his son since that happened.
Yeah. And you know
You
what? I don't even
sever
think his
relationships doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and I don't even think that his, cuz I think his son got what he wanted. He got a little bit of fame. Wasn't he on that Bad Boys Club show or something? He was on something on
Was he?
TV. So, he I
Was
think
he?
I don't I want to say he was on that one that Peaches was on.
Oh, he might have been.
I can't remember.
He might have
He
been.
was on he was on something. He was on something on TV I remember seeing, but so he probably got what he wanted temporarily, but he's probably still trying to reach out to his dad just so I just think that, and this is just my opinion, we always got to state that because of course we don't know, but I just think that he wants some cash. He wants some cash flow.
But you also listen. So the same thing with Steve Harvey's kids. I've been hearing stuff about, you know, oh they don't like Marjorie, and
Mhm.
but Steve openly said that. Like so, I don't know why it became such a big story when Brandy was saying it, one of his twin daughters,
Mhm.
because Steve openly said that there was when he went on Shannon Sharp's podcast
Mhm.
that there was like a little tension with the girls and with Marjorie.
Oh,
But like
okay.
he said, when you come in my house, you gonna respect her because that's my wife.
Right,
Like
of course,
you
yeah.
know. And I seen somebody post the video and they were like, "Oh, saying all this stuff," and I said, "These is grown women.
Mhm. They're like
Like
our age. They
why? Yes, they are. They
Yeah.
went to Ohio State. Like they might
Yeah.
be a little bit older than us.
Mhm.
Like these grown women and y'all up in here talking about who don't like y'all and she got this and they are like the head of his
Right.
foundations, excuse me. So it's like, why did y'all come? Like you said, people just say stuff because they need that attention. Like they
Mhm.
want, it's like, and you're trying to defame the person who cut your check. That's what's really crazy to me.
Yeah, and especially like when it's the kids. You think
Yeah.
that you can get away with it because you're like, "Oh, my dad or my mom won't cut me off."
Baby, you feeding
Shit.
off the reputation you trying to ruin.
Mhm. I mean, and here's the thing. They can say what they want to about Marjorie and Steve and their relationship, I mean, it is what it is, but they're together. That's your stepmom, even though you're grown, so and that is her house, you
And
know.
young ladies, women, I want y'all to know this gonna be hard. But
Uh-oh.
listen, men gonna trade up till they get what they want.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he might be on his third wife,
Mhm.
but he got the wife he want now.
Yeah.
It's a difference. Them other wives, he didn't really want them.
Mhm.
His back was against the wall. He married him. He might have been in love in the beginning or what he thought was love. But now remember, he told the story how him and Marjorie met.
Yeah.
He seen Marjorie, what, did they say 20 years before they got married?
Something like that. Yeah, it was a
It was a
while. Yeah.
long
So they
time
so
before they got married.
yeah.
So men gonna keep trading up till they get what they want. Now. And I know that don't, that's why I tell people this and I stress this. Get somebody who's in love with you.
Mhm.
Whoever you love.
Right.
Get somebody who is head over heels in love with you.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, you in trouble.
Right.
You in trouble. You have a very large possibility that you could be replaced.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Yep.
So let that man and woman be into you. Because baby, if you out here trying to like them like that, or if you like them more than they like you, you in trouble.
Oh yeah, and that's the problem that we see too often is that you
And yeah,
like them
because
more than they like
and
you.
I think women need to pay attention to that when you're dating men,
Mhm.
particularly. Let him like you.
Yeah.
Stop forcing these men into relationships with y'all. Stop doing that.
Mhm.
Stop. Stop being there for him. I just wanted to help him. I just wanted to be there for him because he was going through a hard time. Girl, fuck him in that hard time.
Exactly.
Like, no, stop doing that. Like, because it ends badly.
And then you on social media talking about F niggas and everything.
Good child, because if I got to see one more of them posts,
With y'all's
I
old
didn't want to be
asses.
in these comments so bad. Like, sit, put your little
Child.
hoo-ha on pause anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Give it a break.
Because we know men gonna be bitter when something happens. I mean, that's just how they are. But women,
And let me tell you something.
ooh.
Sometimes they're not going to be bitter because they have a new woman. They're not going to be bitter. They're going to move on. See, and that's really why you're on social media saying these, because he already got a woman, and you should have been working on you a man. The first time he was out here treating you like you want shit, you should have been working on something else.
Or don't even worry about him having another woman. Work on yourself.
Just go on and take a pause.
Gee. But that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother
Baby,
day, girl. We can do a whole
don't even
podcast on
get
y'all
me
and these
started.
relationships.
Because if I got to see one more post this week, I'd have at least seen 3 this week. If I got to see one more, this is why I put people on snooze for 30 days. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Mark Zuckerberg and the Meta community. This is why I put people on snooze. And if you get to acting too crazy, I'll unfriend you.
Basically.
I've unfriended people for some things that people would say were the simplest things, but I'm sick of your ass.
It gets
I'm
to a
sick of your
point where you're just like,
negativity.
child, stop it.
Your negativity is too much. And if you really feel the things that you're typing, you need a therapist. You need a therapist. That's why your friends don't want to fool with you.
Ooh.
Because you need a therapist. And they're just not going to tell you. They going to get sick of your... That's why your husband going to get sick of your ass. I'm telling you, you need a therapist. Stop getting in relationships and thinking that the other person is supposed to be your therapist. They're not. They're not. If you are working, and even if you are not, get you some insurance and seek help. Because it's time out for making the person you in a relationship with your therapy buddy.
Right.
Stop doing that. They got their own problems that they dealing with internally that they probably don't talk about. And Facebook is not the place. Facebook is not the couch for you to lay on.
Listen.
And
Because we're not there to help
feelings.
you. We're there to laugh at you.
Chuckling in the corner.
Listen.
Just looking at you.
And even the ones you think in your comments are like, yeah, girl, you know everything, yeah, F him, or yeah, stand by your man, all that. They ain't really feeling like that. They just trying to keep the keep you going, so the drama will keep going, so they got something to watch.
Listen.
Like, don't be naive. That's the
first
thing.
one telling you, stick it out. Listen. Somebody got to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad. And so that brings us to Louis Vuitton.
Okay. So I didn't watch really a lot of this, but so you go ahead and take the lead, girl.
So what was it? When was it?
Was it last weekend? Was it around? Was it around Juneteenth?
Was it a Monday? I don't even know if it was a week ago. I just watched that show.
Yeah, because I just started seeing the clips this week, so it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, maybe it was 4 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Vuitton had their men's fashion show, and as we know, Virgil has passed away, and God rest his soul. And Pharrell Williams is now the creative director of the men's fashion at Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And baby, when I tell you he brought the guns out,
I mean,
listen.
Because let me say this first before you go on. I knew that they had like a Louis Vuitton show and all that stuff, like Victoria's Secret and all them, they do their little shows and everything like that. But it had to have been something for them to bring it this big. You know what I mean? Not just Pharrell being involved and Jay-Z being there and all that stuff. I knew it had to be some shit, but go ahead.
It was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was huge because first of all, they shut down the oldest bridge in Paris. And They shut the Otis Bridge down, and that's where they had the show.
Right.
The bridge was the runway. And I don't know if people are familiar that so Pharrell had a reality show where he was the producer, may have been the creator of a reality show on Netflix probably 2 years ago.
Mm.
Or right, see if the pandemic happened in 2019, maybe it was 2020, where they were building a choir from his community, from the Richmond, Virginia, Norfolk, from that area. And so the choir was put together, and the choir is Voices of Fire.
Mm.
So Voices of Fire performed at the fashion show. But so they were like the grand finale, the last performance.
Right.
But the music was impeccable.
Mm.
So the first, at the beginning, he had a pianist, playing in an orchestra. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second song, I think the pianist did 2 songs. And the third song was the clips, was, everybody know who Malice,
Yeah.
Pusha T is.
Mm-hmm.
So Pusha T and Malice walked in the show.
Oh,
So it
I
was
didn't
like
see that.
perfect because when Malice and Pusha T was coming down, their song was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you, they made this song for this show because there's also a clip of Pusha T and Pharrell in the studio making a song. And Jay-Z, I'm gonna tell you, the song was hard
Mm-hmm.
because Jay-Z and Beyonce was, sitting front row, and the song was coming on, and you know how Sean get that scrunch face,
Yeah.
oh, this is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm trying to find out where is the playlist. It ain't but a few songs, but where is it at? Because that song right there, I need that. It was like, yeah, I already went straight and looked up Voices of Fire song, and I done probably listened to it a million times
Yeah, that
already.
was the one you sent me, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
yes. So I mean, so then let's talk about the fashions.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So I heard someone say like, I would want to walk around with LV like lovers on my jacket. You're stupid because again, this is a collection by Pharrell, who is from where? Pharrell is
Virginia.
from Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And what do they say about Virginia? Virginia
Virginia's
is for lovers.
right.
That is why it says LV lovers. I saw someone else say, can y'all stop having gospel choirs at fashion shows? Again, you do not know the significance. That is Pharrell's choir.
Mm-hmm.
They are from his hometown. Pusha T and Malice come from Virginia, where Pharrell is from. Like, y'all stupid. I want some of y'all to go back in because, oh, why are y'all here? I just don't get it. If this
Child.
ain't your lane and you don't roll in this lane, that's cool too. But shut up.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't understand the concepts behind why people do what they do, look it up before you start saying stuff about it.
Right. Oh, let me just, and that reminds me, because we talked about Blink 182 earlier, but Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker from Blink 182 were married.
Yeah.
And she just announced to everybody that she was pregnant. Now it's obvious that she that they knew because she's showing. So
Oh, okay.
she held at a concert, their concert in LA. She was in the audience with a sign holding it up saying, "Travis,
Mhm.
I'm pregnant," or something like that.
Right.
And and people were in the comments going in talking about, why did she do that at a concert? It's obvious that he knew, and everything like that. But what it was in reference to the Blink 182 video, All the Small Things from back in the day, where someone was in the audience doing that.
Oh my god. I
So
mean, it's like y'all.
yeah,
Where did y'all
so
come from?
yeah, people were just like, "Are y'all serious?" They were like, "Even if you don't know, it's obvious that she's showing, and that's her husband, and he knew." They were doing it as a play off of that video. So it's just people be in the comments, just I mean,
Quick
just
to say
saying
something and you
stuff.
stupid.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you're talking about.
Right. And that just reminded me of that. I was just like,
Like, yeah, it's just like y'all just out here existing.
yeah, just to
I
say
swear y'all be
something.
so up on pop culture.
Right.
I love history. So you
Right.
know what I do? I study history.
Yeah.
If you love
Same.
pop culture, study the history of pop
Hmm.
culture.
But no, people just want to be in there just trying to prove somebody wrong or just being negative. I think a lot of people
Oh
just
my
like being
god.
negative. They like being that person. I just think that's
No.
truly what it is.
Like, crawl
Ciao.
back up inside y'all's mamas. Like, really. Y'all really
Damn.
irritate me.
It really is. I mean, it just
It's
gets
like,
to a
I mean, just to
point.
see people, and when I had told my best friend, like, yeah, they said this in the comments. I was like, but people
Hmm.
don't understand, and I explained it to her. She was like, you should say something, like, say something in the comments. I was like, these people are brain dead. I
Yeah,
don't
they
have
wouldn't
it.
even get it because when you see people like explaining to, like what the reference is, because I'm sure that there were people in the comments, saying that this is Pharrell's choir or, they keep referring to
Yeah.
lovers because that's what, Virginia's state slogan is basically.
Why
I,
don't y'all know that though?
yeah, because they live in a world where it's just
You
about
live in your
them.
little state, huh?
Exactly. That's it. You just live in your
I bet
little
you don't know the
world.
state bird nowhere else.
You probably don't
I
even
bet
know
you don't know a
yours.
state fruit. I mean, I bet you don't know nothing.
There was an adult that I know that was, I think I used to work with this person, and we would always see a cardinal. And this is before I knew the significance of, what they say about cardinals, that that's someone who has passed on. If one
Right.
keeps like, yeah. So we kept seeing this cardinal one day. We were sitting outside, and I just referred it to, I was like, oh, there's our state bird. And she was like, we got a state bird, and was serious as hell. I said, you didn't know
How
that?
about you go to hell? How about that? Because I'm
Listen,
saying this is the type of shit that you be about to cuss people out for. Like,
yeah. I was like, you ain't never seen that big ass cardinal at the, first of all, you didn't know. That's the thing. But when you walk into the Ohio State Fair, you ain't never seen that big ass cardinal statue. What do you think that was there for? Because they thought it was a pretty red bird. I mean, it's just, people just really just live in their own world, and it's really sad.
it's just really. I mean, and I sometimes I feel like okay, I know that I'm a little bit of a nerd. Like
Right. Yeah. So I
I'm
try
well
to give
aware of
people the
that. I
benefit
know
of the
that people
doubt
can say stuff
sometimes.
to me like, "Oh yeah, because something something Boone County." If you say Boone
Hmm.
County to me, I know that's Kentucky.
Right.
Like it's just certain things that
Certain
I
things you
know,
just know.
certain
Yeah.
stuff that people would say like, "Oh yeah." Whatever county, I'm like, oh, that's in Pittsburgh.
Mm,
Like,
di-
I certain things I
Yeah.
know that I'm a nerd and I know that I know.
Yeah, just like I'll tell people, like I love having conversations with people about useless knowledge, and it's just because, and I
Yeah,
call it useless knowledge because it's things like it's good to know, but you don't really think about that stuff.
yeah, yeah. And look, and I'm an avid watcher of Jeopardy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I know that I know a lot of weird stuff
Right.
that people may not know. But y'all don't know shit that you should
Nothing.
know. And there's where the problem lies.
Because
You
then,
don't know the shit you should know.
right, and then you try to educate other people on stuff. That's what
Like,
gets
get
me.
out of here. So what y'all goals be? Like, that's what I want to know. Cause like, okay, I
To
watch
be an
Jeopardy.
ass. That's
That's
it.
it.
That's
That's it.
it. Yeah.
I watch Jeopardy and like when they put categories up and it says like bodies of water, I'll be like, fuck, I don't know this. And
Hmm.
I really have to learn more
You're
bodies of
determined. You're just
water.
like, wait a minute. Like I didn't know that. I didn't even know that exists.
'Cause I
Yeah.
have to like I sometimes I randomly look it up. I
Mm-hmm.
really have a hard time. Now I might can if it's a United States body of water,
Mm-hmm.
like if you ask me about, the Mississippi, the Colorado, um, the Appalachian Mountains, like if you ask me about certain things, I can get it.
Mm-hmm.
You ask me, you say something about the lakes, I can get those.
Right.
But I have a goal within myself to learn those things. What are y'all's goals within yourself? Like, what are they? I have tested Sade before, like in the summertime. We're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, we gotta know the 50 states. We know the states, but we gotta know the capitals in the states
Yeah.
too. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
y'all goals? Like, what y'all want to know?
Right. Nothing.
How many watches Jay Z got? Like, what the fuck y'all
Yeah.
talking about? I want to know.
Right. That's it. That's all they're worried about.
Cause y'all barely know that for real.
Nail.
Y'all don't even know. Like, because the fact that people were really like, I just can't see if I could just walk around with lovers. I'm like, you sound fucking stupid. And bitch, it's Pharrell. Like when Chanel did the collaboration with Pharrell,
Mm-hmm.
that shit sold out instantly.
Yeah.
It sold out instantly. That shit's gonna be gone. While you're somewhere talking about a $5,000 jacket
Mm-hmm.
that it's probably
That
a
you
ten
weren't going to
thousand
buy
dollar jacket
anyway. You weren't going to
that you
buy it
can't
anyway.
afford anyway,
Yeah. So,
and you're criticizing it.
right. Because I
You
know I ain't
barely
going to
have
buy it. So I'm
authentic Louis Vuitton wallets,
right. I mean, listen.
and I know you don't because those motherfuckers are $600 and $700 and
Oh,
$800.
girl, they're going to what's that site called that sells the bootleg stuff? DH Gate and all that, and AliExpress. They going
Exactly.
there to get them. So yeah, because anybody can
But
get one. You
like,
just
yeah, like y'all don't even want to buy shit off the real real.
mm-hmm.
Y'all don't got the money for that, but got all the opinions in the world.
Right.
Ugh,
Just like I
terrible.
remember, like I got to clock my own tea. I remember when this was a while ago when Chris Brown came out with his first clothing line, and I was looking at those prices, and this is like before. This is like not long after he came out, so that shows how long ago this was. And this is like when
Right,
celebrities really weren't. The only celebrity clothing lines we had were like Sean John and Rockefeller. I mean
right,
Rockaware. Baby fat stuff like that, Fat Farm stuff that we could actually afford. So
right.
when I saw Chris
And people who we felt like had some relevance.
Exactly. So when I saw Chris Brown's line, and his stuff was like a t-shirt for like 60, $80, I was like, who the hell does he think he is? But now I see that it started a trend where all these celebrities,
My
especially
friend just said this too. It's so funny you brought this up
but
because
they're
she
selling their
said,
stuff like that, like for
yes,
expensive, ridiculous
she
prices.
said celebrities are now realizing that the best way to capitalize, because she's in fashion,
Mhm.
and she said the celebrities are now realizing that the best way to capitalize on the dollars
Yeah.
is it's definitely through clothing,
Oh
through
yeah.
clothing lines, through fashion.
Mhm.
I said, yeah, because what did Jay Z always say? Rockefeller did 80 million in 18 months. You can bullshit
Listen.
with rap if you want, motherfucker. Don't forget
Mhm.
he told us that years ago.
Right, right.
Had at least be 20 years ago he said that.
Mhm.
Cause it was on that black album.
Yeah.
Not the black album, but the
The
one
one with the
that
black,
had a
yeah.
meal and all them on it.
Mhm. That
I'm a
was
hustler,
Hard Not
baby.
Life. Oh
That
no,
one.
no, that was the Dynasty. The
It was on
Dynasty.
that one. Yes,
Yeah,
the
the Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Yep.
Yes. He said Rockaware, 80 mil in just 18 months. You can
Mhm.
bullshit with rap if you want, motherfucker.
Right. See?
Holla at hove, I be in the cut. He told y'all that back then.
Right. And look at him now.
So
$1 billion in the elevator, honey. That's all I gotta say. So,
listen.
girl. So you wanted to talk about Dr. Umar. I really don't follow him too much.
So
Like
we
I'll
don't
see
really
stuff
have
that
to
he
talk about it a lot.
Okay, but what
But what
happened?
happened was he was invited on a podcast
Uh-oh.
by three weak ass
Oh
men
shit. Okay, yeah, we
who
got to talk about
probably thought who probably thought they were going to get over on Dr. Umar,
Oh yeah.
who probably in their pea brains believed that they could disprove his hypothesis or whatever his talking points were.
Right.
Baby, they weren't ready for that smoke. They weren't ready for it. And you know what made me, it made me so glad
Mm-hmm.
because I have had that same conversation with men.
Yeah.
And it felt good to hear it coming from a man. Because sometimes when it's always coming, I felt like the same things that Dr. Umar was saying
Mm-hmm.
are some of the same things that women are trying to get men to realize.
Yeah.
And I always walk away from those things saying, you men need to stop sitting on these podcasts bashing women and talking
Mm-hmm.
to men about being better men. So I was glad to hear him say, no matter what y'all say about these women, the responsibility is yours.
Mm-hmm.
He basically told them they came with these scenarios and said, oh, well, women have choices. Basically saying we choose the sorry ass men that we lay down and have babies with. But like he said, if men would raise boys to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
there would be no Pookies and Ray Rays. He said it
Mm-hmm.
flat out. So you still can't look at her and say, oh, you chose to be with him. He said, because we are not doing our job as men to raise up young boys.
Right.
And if we raised boys, if black men took the time to raise boys, these black women wouldn't be in situations where they would be picking Pookies and Ray Rays.
Mm-hmm.
We should do what we're supposed to do to raise a better generation of young men. And they didn't want to accept that.
Oh no.
He said, what he simply asked them, what can black men do to be better men? And he said, well, women ain't going for that.
Mm-hmm.
You a punk, nigga. Sorry, nigga, y'all some punks.
Mm-hmm.
Because if y'all really about to sit here and what in your right mind made you as a man say a woman has control over the man that you are?
Right. It's to
It
take
was
responsibility from
it was
yourself.
a blame game. They
Mm-hmm.
they completely, and this is why it's important who you have around you. If you continue to put yourself in a room with people, one person got to be the opposition in your friend group.
Yeah.
You've got to have one person who I don't have, for lack of a better term, who plays the devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
There has to
Definitely.
be one person in your friend group who tells you both sides of the coin.
Yeah. Even if they may agree with you, like you said, there has to be someone who plays devil's advocate who's going to give you
Who has to
the
give you the
other.
other
Yeah.
side?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I work tirelessly as a person to always give both sides. I say this to people all the time. Well, let's think about it from the other way too. Because it's easy to tell somebody, oh, yeah, I agree with you. That's right. Be the opposition in your friend group.
Yeah.
I challenge people. Be the person who thinks about it from the other person's point of view.
And if that person can't accept, that you have a difference of opinion, then they're not a friend. They're just, someone who wants
They
yes
want a
people
yes
around
man.
it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They
Yep.
are a Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You don't, and listen, I'm not always the person who says, oh, you need to get away from people, things like that. I'm going to sit right here. We still going to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
You just going to be mad when you talk to me and I just don't give a damn.
Basically.
Because I'm not going to let you go out
Basic.
here looking ass backwards.
Right.
I'm still going to stand in this truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be mad.
Yeah,
I'm
and
okay with that.
I have people who don't really talk to me today because I've told them the truth about stuff, and they're just like,
They don't want to hear
they don't
that.
want to hear it because they know, or they won't bring something to my attention because they're just like, she's going to tell me what I really need to hear, or
Yes.
what, yeah, or what I don't want to hear, either
They don't
one,
want to
yeah.
hear that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you bringing that mess to their front door.
Right, like you
Which
said, they
that
want yes
mess is
men.
the truth.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want that. I'm telling you, like he when I tell you he ate them up,
Oh, I know
he
he
ate them,
did.
and he got them every time they proposed something. Because one said, "Oh, well, we don't have no control over what the woman do when she get pregnant. That even if you don't want the baby, the choice is
Oh
on her."
Lord.
He said, "But a woman cannot have a baby without a seed." He
That
said,
was
"So
too
you
deep. That was
planted
too
the
deep for him.
seed." But I'm just saying, he said, brother, he said, but listen, you planted the seed.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's not the woman you wanted to have, she wouldn't have had the baby if you would have never planted the seed inside her.
Right.
He shut up. He said, "You right, you right."
I
What was
mean,
y'all thinking
so
about?
it took for Dr. Umar Johnson to come on your show to put that in your head that you
But
didn't
listen,
realize
and I
that.
and I told, and so me and Ronnie was watching it, and I told him, I said, when I make the comments that I make about men, these are the men that I'm discussing.
Mm-hmm.
I said, because what you fail to realize is that these men are in great numbers.
Oh yeah.
These men sit on these podcasts and belittle women,
Mm-hmm.
and they are in great numbers.
Yep.
They have nothing to bring to the table. They have no table. They have
That
nothing but
part.
their opinion.
Right.
And these are the men that I'm speaking about. And
Mm-hmm.
and since you want to go on, because Ronnie want to stand on his soapbox and say not all men, I said, and this is why I say you men who you think like you,
Mm-hmm.
y'all need to be the ones that's out here correcting these men. Instead
Exactly.
of y'all being worried about what women is doing, y'all should be the ones correcting these guys,
Mm.
telling them that's not accurate.
Mm.
That's not how it really goes. And like he told him, he said, "My brother, if you are running into those type of women, the problem is you."
Mm-hmm.
He said, because you're putting the energy out there that's attracting those women to you. So what it is in you? Everything he was saying was about accountability.
See, and they ain't ready for that. People ain't ready for accountability.
People are not ready for it. I say this all the listen, it starts with you first.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I get into a disagreement with somebody, I don't know if I've ever like openly said this. Even if I felt like a friend was not being a friend to me,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I always say is, well, Keisha, what kind of friend are you being?
Right.
I have to ask myself first. It starts with you,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Even the Bible tells, I tell people this all the time. Sowing and reaping is not just a biblical law. It
Right.
is it's a earthly, it's a law in the earth.
Mm.
Like it's a universal law.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever in any situation, if you think about that, when you plant a seed, you get a harvest. Anywhere, like he said, in a woman, in the ground, and in your moral lives.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever seed you put out is what's going to grow.
Right.
So when things go bad for you, you should always start back at the seed.
Yeah.
You are the seed planter.
Like, what did I do?
What did I do?
Mm-hmm.
What am I giving off that's making people, even I say when people are treating you terrible, what are you giving off that's making people think it's okay to treat you like that?
Right.
It's
It's.
something in you that's making people say, oh, she a pushover.
Mm-hmm.
I can do whatever I want to do to her. He ain't gonna say nothing. I can walk all over him and treat him any kind of way.
Yep.
And I'm gonna tell you how you know people think that about you, because do something different
Mm-hmm.
and watch how they act towards you.
Listen.
So it's you. You've been letting that go on.
Mm-hmm. And once
It's
you
not
realize,
them.
yeah, you're not going to be good until you realize that.
Yes, you are allowing that behavior. Even if you are quote unquote the victim of the situation,
Mm-hmm.
you have allowed it to take place.
Yep.
And at
Listen.
some point you gotta stop this shit.
Mm-hmm.
That go for all of
Oh
us. I'm
yeah.
not saying that like I'm not in that number.
Oh yeah. Because look, I've
You
been
know.
writing this podcast that's been taking me forever, and it's about just like stepping out on faith, like how I have become the woman that I am today. I really, just like
Yes.
the things like that, and that is one of the things. I know there was a point in my life that actually wasn't too long ago
Hmm.
where I was a pushover for people.
Yeah.
Like I noticed that. So it's just like, how do you like, you have to realize that. You have to come to that conclusion, like, why am I being treated like this? I'm letting people do it.
So I'm gonna tell you something since you said this.
Mhm.
I said this to the therapist. Um, and I want you to know this because you just brought this up. And it
Mhm.
may help somebody else. People pleasing is a trauma response.
Mm. I can see that. Yeah.
People pleasing is a trauma response to abandonment.
Mm.
Some way you have felt left, you
Mhm.
have felt like people were not there for you, and you are people pleasing and you are serving people because it's the way that people stay with you. You think that if you please people and you do everything that people want you to do, they won't leave you.
Right.
It is your response to trauma. It is your protection from trauma.
Mhm.
And to any of you that are people pleasing, it would be a if you recognize it in yourself, it would be a good idea for you to see a therapist.
Yeah.
because something has happened to you that has been traumatic, and you felt left, you felt not loved, you felt not wanted. And it would be a good place for you to start to
Mm-hmm.
work with a therapist, because there's something there that you need to discuss.
Right.
And that's for anybody. And I'm not saying that directly to you, I'm saying
Yeah,
that for
yeah, yeah.
anybody who's listening. If you feel yourself being a people pleaser, just
Mm-hmm.
constantly putting yourself on the back burner, but constantly, what can I do to serve you?
Yeah.
What can I do to help you? What can I do? What do you need me for? Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
have no problem doing that for you. But you're never, because you're not even really probably doing it to get any reciprocated feelings.
Right. Yeah.
You're just doing it so this person is constantly in your life. So
Mm-hmm.
these people never walk away from you
Right.
because you remember the trauma of being abandoned
Mm.
and you don't want to feel that again.
Yeah.
So I would definitely suggest someone get a therapist in that situation.
Oh yeah.
And you can get on psychologytoday.com. You can type your city, your state. And if you don't want to necessarily have a therapist in your area, as long as that therapist accepts your insurance, you can see a damn therapist in Alaska now with the way
With the way
telehealth
telehealth,
is.
yeah.
So, you know, I do not see a therapist that's in my city
Mm-hmm.
or in any city that I'm familiar with.
Right.
I intentionally picked someone who was somewhere else that I would never go, that I
Oh,
won't be.
okay.
You know, professionally it made me feel comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to not have someone who's close to me.
Right.
So I would suggest,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, therapy,
It
because
definitely helps.
we
Ooh.
walk around with old wounds
Mm-hmm.
and we pick them and then we let them heal and we pick them again and we let them heal.
Right.
So I think we've had a great show.
Yes.
God is good.
Yes, he
Oh, and
is.
you had on the agenda that we would talk about the pink box. That'll take me 2 minutes.
Yes. Yeah. So go ahead and tell everybody because you briefly discussed it last week, like just talking about a little bit, where people can, find it and everything like that. But
Yeah.
tell us about the pink box a little bit.
So the pink box came to fruition, I should say, or was created. Just everyone who probably knows me knows pink is my favorite color,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a tendency to name everything that has to do with me wellness. My
Yeah.
last name is Blackwell, so I always take a play on that. But this, I wanted it to be something different, and so when it's completely when the line is fully finished, it will be hoops, hair, and lips.
Okay.
And so right now I'm starting with hoops. And these are just three of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually know me, three things that you can depend on me for are gold hoops, lip gloss, and a weave.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, I'm talking about forever. Like, if it's three things I've always had, it's gold hoops, lip gloss, and some type of weave in my
I
hair.
never even put that together, girl. Yes.
So those three things mean a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where it started from. Hoops,
Okay.
hair, and lips. And so you can definitely, I had somebody inbox me um just last night, as a matter of fact, somebody we went to school with asking me about pieces. We do have smaller earrings. I'm thinking about carrying. So if you know earrings, we have like 70 MMs and then we have 40 or 50s. But I'm thinking about carrying even smaller where you can
Okay.
put them in a little baby's ear, like,
Oh, that would be
like
yeah.
toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, we do have some small hoops. And I took a play and I named some of them, like one set of hoops is north side, because if you're from Columbus, on the
Right.
north side.
Okay.
One set is east side. One set is named for me. One is named for my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and Golden Girl, which was like in honor of my grandmother, but those sold out. So I'm gonna get some
Yes.
more.
Okay.
So, they're just beautiful gold hoops. I do have some brooches. I really haven't put everything that I actually have on the site because I just was trying to like put the hoops out there first. but I did start with a few brooches that I have.
Okay.
And, I've had people say, "Oh, yeah, I would like more brooches." Like, yeah, what do you have? So I'm going to include a few brooches in the line too for the fall, definitely, because everybody will be wearing their blazers. So be looking for that as well.
Right.
But you can www.thepinkboxtkb.com and place your order. And right now, everything's 20% off.
Yes.
Everything's 20% off. So I have had people take advantage of the sale. And right before the fall, right before back to school, the sale, I'm going to drop a few more percent off. So be looking out for it and, come back and stop by and buy something. You
Yes.
know, support your girl.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And I definitely will be buying something. And you can also find the website on a link to the website on DannieBSpeaks.com. It's
Oh,
also on
thank
there, but
you.
go directly to the pinkboxtkb.com. And
And
like
I
she
have an
said,
Instagram page
yeah, go
at the
ahead.
Pink Box TKB. And you can stop by and shop. I mean, we have really good pieces. And what
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad about is that when people get their merchandise, they're like, "Oh, like these are really good earrings." I'm like,
Right.
"Okay." That's the reaction that I want from people because I don't want to
Yeah.
put no junk out.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I ain't gonna put out just anything. Like, come on
Right,
now.
right. Because it took me, I've been ordering this stuff and going through it, building a collection for it took a while,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I know I was getting packages in the mail, and I know my boyfriend was probably like, "What is you buying all this stuff for?
Right.
What is this stuff?"
Yeah,
So,
people don't realize when you're doing it yourself, yeah, it's gonna
you
take some
have to
time. But
kind of look
people,
over it.
yeah, yeah.
I want to
People
be a
can't
drop
just put
ship
out
girl, but
anything.
I ain't got it. I gotta see it.
I know, and
I
that's
gotta put the product out.
yeah, and see, that's one of the things that because I even thought about getting a t-shirt press and doing the stuff myself when I want to do my line, but there are more than things that I want to do. So I
Right.
probably will go the drop ship route,
Now I think
but
with t-shirts, I
that's
think that's
different.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I'm not going to take the time to I'm not going to do all that.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
and we'll you and I will have a business meeting
Oh
about that
yeah, yeah.
with
Because I
some
got some other
ways
ideas for some
that you
things.
can
So
do
yeah.
that. So
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the segment
Yes,
here.
definitely. And I do want to, when we hang up, I do want to say something to you about the pink box, just like a marketing idea that I have.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I don't want to put it on the podcast, but I'm putting it on the podcast because I want y'all to be aware that there will be some other marketing coming. But yeah, so there that is. But go ahead and close us out, sis.
Okay, girl. Well, you guys have an amazing week. You know where you can find us, girl underscore you know what on Instagram. You can find us at Danny B Speaks and at Wellness and Women. And check us out over at the Pink Box, TKB. So we pray that you all have a great week. Be productive. Find something to do. Look up
Yes.
something.
Learn
Remember I asked y'all what
something.
y'all goals was? Find something to do.
Yes.
That increases your knowledge.
Hmm.
I don't care if it's cultural, if it's historical facts, whatever it is, music. It's Black Music Month. Look some stuff up.
There you go.
Okay, well, you guys have a great week and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.